Hey there! Hi! Welcome to another video! Oh! Woo! Oh my gosh, okay, I did not think that it was going to actually slide back because I'm not even fully on the pavement. I wanted to get the stone wall in the background with grass, so that didn't really work out. I promise I'll figure out a good camera angle one of these days. Okay, so story time. But before we jump into that story time, I'd like to apologize for my absence from YouTube and making content. I realized none of you really care in the first place, so which is why I wasn't too worried because nobody was like, yo, I'm making videos. It's fine. If you're doing content, I'm sorry. I'm kind of, but I have a new fire within me committed to making some fun videos and actually good ones on my channel. And those are really bad, to put it in nice words, bad and really trash, but yeah, I'm gonna put those up just because they reflect how these videos are hopefully going to improve. Anyways, our story time to kick off this new commitment to the YouTube channel is the time we were almost stranded in Ketchikan, Alaska. So a little bit of background: we were on a cruise ship the summer of 2017. I was going into 7th grade, and my parents really liked their experience with Princess Cruises for their anniversary, their honeymoon a few years back. And so they were like, we're going to take the kids on as a celebration of our anniversary, even though it's not until September. But this was in July, so it was from the 17th to the 22nd. Yeah. Is it? It was from the 15th. My apologies. It was from the 15th to the 22nd. Bug. It was from the 15th to the 22nd of July 2017, and we were on the Princess Ruby cruise ship, which was the newest edition, and I think it came into use of like around 2006, somewhere around there. They don't add cruise ships too often to the line, but here are some photos just to give you some stuff. So they give you this little folder, and I have an app, I can find that, I can find my little ID card that they give you even if you're a kid, and it's just kind of like helping your identification, like what happened in case you got lost. And it's also the way, it's like a credit card in the future, so you use that for paying for stuff. But you don't actually pay for it, you typically just ask for it, or someone will come ask you that you want, unless it's like registrations when they really get you to pay, but we had a good package, so all orders are free, and it's just a little like card, mine is blue, and it's like very cutish. So here is our family photo, and on the first day we came in, and they were like, okay, you're all checked out, you can go on, and you get through, and they're like, oh, what's your name, blah blah blah, and then it's like, okay, we'll take a picture, and you have the option to get these at the end, I think. They have them all taped up on a board, and then you grab them, or a stewardess comes. Oh, we never cut these out. So these are the same thing, I guess. I'm just realizing this now, but with a more glacier-y background. This one is sponsoring where you went. This one is showing where you went. I meant ship. This is sponsoring the cruise line you went with. This is just where you went, and that's pretty cool. And so it was really fun. It was a good week. A little lonely, not going to lie, because my sister did what I can never do. She made friends, and she hung out with them instead. I can't blame her. She's a teenager, too. So we were there for my parents' anniversary, and they even sent them an anniversary card, which is really cool, nice and sweet. And then here's some postcards from the glacier. So we took a helicopter ride onto the glacier. That was really cool. I would insert some footage, but I don't know what happened to it. I might have some photos. I'll try and put those in there. That was really cool. I would explain that, but we're here for the Ketchikan story. So Ketchikan, Alaska is it's a pretty heavy tourist city. I'm not gonna lie, not city, it's more of a town. It's a pretty tourist heavy town. And so they make a lot of their income off of tourists. And so we were going out for an average like lunch, and my mom, I don't think she was feeling well that day. So we just went out to explore it. And so, you know, we're checking out, we scan our cards, our ID cards, and so they just let us out. And you just walk down the ramp, and then you get back by a certain time. Okay? So we went around, we saw a lot of cool structures and whatnot. I took some pictures there. I will see if I can try and get them. maybe that was the other year when we went to Portland. I took some pictures. I really kind of got into photography there. I still do. I like photography. It's fun. And so my dad let him use it again. I'm pretty sure he's like in Alfred or something. I don't really remember. It's literally now. I was checking if it had a video function. I know. I was checking to see if it had a video function. So that I recorded with this instead of the entire topic. So it doesn't have a video function. It's kind of a picture with one little child when they did have a video function, which is unfortunate. But not talking about terms of fun. We went around the town and it was really fun. Yeah. Okay, so we got off the boat and it's really pretty because like there's the streets everywhere. Of course there's streets, it's a town. I do not script my videos, which is why they are all over the place. My apologies. I'm also outside, which is probably one of the biggest distractions I could possibly do. Dang it, I keep getting off topic. Okay, so you get off, and so there's the main street, and like there's a bunch of like little carts there and little shopping booths, kind of like what's it called, Pike Place, and so down in Seattle. But so you walk over there, and then it's also kind of by the water, and so there was like a lot of wood, and so it was like a dock over the water where you would go and explore. So it was really cool because it was half of the town was kind of built on water, and so I might even be describing the entirely wrong place. But we went around and we sightsaw. That was really fun. And then we went to go sit at like one of those all-American classic mom and pop diners. The food was okay. I mean, at least had Diet Coke because none of our restaurants we went to there in Alaska and in Canada, or like going South Indian Canada, had Coke. We hadn't had a lot of Pepsi. And I love Cokers. I'm sorry. Not sorry. So they had Coke, and like it was one of those really cool vintage ones. So it was like black and white checkers, red, hot rods, pin-up ladies, Coca-Cola clocks and stuff. It was all Pepsi, but you know, whenever we had Diet Coke, the burger, there was something about it. I think it was like too spicy for me, and he had this in the back, and like, especially requested to like not put those great spices in, and I was really big. And so, wind, please don't mess up my audio. My neighbors are looking at me like I'm crazy. Continuing, we went there, and my sister had postcards. Actually, so before we had gone to Skagway and we had gotten a lot of postcards, I had already sent mine out, and Mia was like, I'm gonna send mine out today because she still wanted to write them. She hadn't written them by our last stop, and so it's like a day or so in between each of your stops for the week. Like the first day we were entirely at sea, so she knew she wanted to get postcards and stuff, and so she was like, I'm gonna send my postcards out, and my dad was like, oh, all right. And so it's around it's like 2:30, so you know we're making our way because we were gonna go further into town, but the last post office we saw was like a few blocks back, and so we were like, okay, we'll backtrack, and so we're right by the ship, you know. And so the horn goes off, and it's like, brrr, brrr, and we're, you know, we're like a block away from the, what do you call it? From the post office. We're like a block away from the post office or so. And so my dad's like, huh, that's funny, that means it's about to leave. And I was like, oh, it's 2:30. And he's like, wait. And so it goes again, and it's like, and we see, so around the loading zone, which is entirely concrete, and then you have like the railing up, and then you have the ramp that goes to the cruise ship. And so my dad's like, well, crud, there's only one ramp out, we gotta go. And so we were like, huh, huh, huh. And while we're, you know, running to save our butts and make it back onto the cruise ship, my mom calls my dad, and he chucks it at my sister, and she's like, what's going on? The horn of the ship is going. And my mom's like, there are these men in my room that are in our cabin, and they're like wondering where you guys are. You guys are super late. We need to go. You need to get on the ship now, otherwise they're gonna leave you behind. And we're like, oh. And so we're like full on sprinting over to the ramp. And so my dad's like kind of back there talking to my mom more. And so we like jet it to the place, and so they just ask for our ID cards, and they've already put away the metal detectors because you're not allowed to bring like certain stuff on the cruise ship. And so they had already taken off the metal detectors, and so we had to get patted down instead. And they were like, ooh, you guys win. So the crew was kind of not happy with us, and I felt so bad about that. I was like, yo, father, what's up? why were we so late? And he was like, I misread the time on the newsletter. And I was like, great. And so what happened? Yeah. So we get back to the cabin, and my mom's like, thank goodness. And we were like, okay, so what happened? Why did you call us? And she was like, so they called for you on the intercom, on the big intercom. They called across the whole cruise ship because they thought we might have checked in and not just gone through security, and we might have slipped by. I'm a small kid. It could have been done. Maybe I was in some bag. So they called us across the intercom a minute or two before they were gonna leave us, and it was really embarrassing for me. Just because, like, our neighbors, the next door, they were like, when they heard the intercom, they were like, those are our cabin neighbors! Oh my gosh! And so we might have been stuck in Ketchikan if we had not jetted it over, and my sister, forgetting to mail her postcards before, had not saved us. So I have to thank you, Mia, very much for making sure we didn't get stranded in Alaska. That would have been bad. I was so embarrassed. I mean, I felt so bad for the staff and stuff and the people who had to pat us down. My dad, I don't think he'll admit to it, but he was also really embarrassed about it. Hi, birdies. Hi. I'm gonna have to pull those bird feeders because we have to, and then not the point here. Yeah, so I just double check, because they send you a newsletter every day, and they're like, okay, you know, this is the time you need to be back at the cruise ship, okay? And then you leave. But they were definitely about to leave us, because they didn't want to delay us any further. And so, that's pretty much how we almost got stranded in Ketchikan, Alaska. This video does not feel like it's been to the full potential, but my camera battery is about to die and my voice kind of hurts because I've been writing stuff all day. So my apologies if you didn't find this video fully entertaining. I'll try my best. I'll try to make it better next time. Hopefully be able to edit it down, because right now it's at like 15 minutes. Hopefully I'll be able to edit that down to like 10 minutes max, maybe 8 minutes, which requires cutting out a lot of my stuttering. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for actual fun content.